Inside the Salesforce Ecosystem, where we deep dive with the leaders, experts, and innovators shaping the future of Salesforce. I'm your host, Luke White, and in every episode, we'll be exploring the unique journeys, challenges, and insights of those driving success within the ecosystem. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Tommaso Santini, the sales manager at Aeonvis, with over a decade of experience in CRM, Salesforce consultancy, and sales operations. Tommaso has been instrumental in growing the Salesforce practices. He's helping businesses achieve their goals. He's a three-time Salesforce certified expert and brings passion for marketing and revenue growth. So, Tommaso, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolute pleasure. So let's dive in. So yeah, I've done a little introduction there, but it's always nice to hear from yourself. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your current role.
Yes. So it's pretty standard. At the moment, I'm responsible for the CRM offering in Aeonvis. We've decided to partner with Salesforce because in Aeonvis we just offer the best solutions. We say the best of breed. So for ERP we've got SAP, and for CRM we have Salesforce. So I keep the relationship with the Salesforce vendor, and I manage a small sales team that go to these prospects together with the vendor with our project proposition.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, the big players of SAP and Salesforce there for sure. So
there you go.
Interesting indeed. So how did your Salesforce journey begin, and how did you sort of come across Salesforce and then sort of end up working in the Salesforce ecosystem?
Well, it's a funny story. In 2012, I moved to Dublin, and in 2013, I joined Salesforce directly in the EMEA HQ in Dublin. It was much smaller than now, and I joined the Italian team. It was the smallest team in Europe. The biggest team was France and UK, and I worked as a sales rep for a year or so. And then coming back to Italy, I opened a small Salesforce business partner. That's the funny story. So many years I've been with Salesforce, and I also worked for them back in the days.
It's that sort of hunter turned gamekeeper, that sort of approach from knowing, from selling it to now implementing it as well. So you've seen both sides, which is good. I think it gives you a good shape of how the ecosystem works. You know how customers are making their buying decisions about Salesforce, and now obviously you can help implement that as well. So I think that's a good mix.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, very good. Yes.
What's been the sort of like the most rewarding or highlight of your Salesforce related career to date? Have you got a couple of things that spring into your mind?
Well, there is one that is a real milestone in my life. As I was saying, when I came back to Italy, 2014, I started up this small project, this small partner. It was called Artmatica back in the days, and now it was just acquired by Aeonvis about 2 years ago. And Aeonvis is a much bigger company. Well, it's still small compared, to the biggest player, but it's 200 employees consulting company with 4 offices in Italy and also several projects abroad. So we've been acquired by this company, and I was one of the stakeholders. So for me, it was a great milestone.
Yeah, that's a big milestone, especially to create something that then somebody else wants to purchase and acquire is definitely a good feeling, and something you should be obviously very, very proud of as well. So that's
Exactly.
Good. And of course, you've still got the interest to stay and to still work within the ecosystem as well, which is important. You're still there. You're still there. Exactly. I'm going to go off script a little bit because something you said just sort of raised the question to me as well. So, how do you see have you seen a growth in the Italian market for Salesforce? Because when we look at it from an ISV point of view, we've got like France, Germany, the Netherlands, the UK, and Europe seem to be sort of like big players in the Salesforce world. So, how's that Italian market, and how have you seen it grow over the last few years?
Well, like I was saying, when I was working at Salesforce, so 10 years ago, Italy was the smallest market in Europe. Even Iberia was a bit bigger than Italy.
Yeah,
You know, they were very close, but Iberia
yeah,
was bigger. But ever since the growth it's been huge. I actually see it every day, just knowing the many people from Salesforce that work for the Italian market. When I was there, we were 20 for the whole country.
mm,
At the moment, there are about 200.
okay. So we see a
You know,
big growth. Yeah.
so yes, there's been a big, a big growth, but also there is a great difference between what we call the small medium businesses and the great enterprises. There is a huge difference also in the approaches that you have to have with them.
And can you put your finger on any reason why that growth has happened in Italy? Can you think to why that is, or it's just been the evolution of the tech sector in Italy?
Well, I suppose that it's inevitable because it's something that's happening everywhere. It's just that in Italy there was a bit of resistance, let's say more. The people hesitate a little bit, to go with new things and new technologies, American things. Sales reps that call you from Dublin or anyway from abroad. It's more of a market where handshake still works a lot,
Yeah. Yeah, still an old school market to a certain extent. So yeah. Okay, no, interesting.
That's why.
Yeah,
That's why.
interesting.
But again, it's something that you can like it or not, but it's happening.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, you can either stand there and watch it, or you can jump on the train and join in and go along for the ride as well. So yeah, no.
But I
we see,
can assure you that there's still many people that are still there with Excel files or Outlook. I'm sure there are also in UK, US, but the percentage is different. Italy is really old style from this point of view.
Yes.
But again, this is an opportunity for us, of course.
Yes. Yeah, and to catch up, and the way technology works, people will catch up quickly as well. So they will adopt it, and it will catch up quickly for sure. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Can you share an example of like a challenging sales project or deal that you worked on, and how you sort of successfully navigated it?
Yes. We recently acquired a new customer that rents rehab tools, let's say,
Okay.
for those that don't want to buy those things, And we partnered with PDF Butler. That's a nice partnership to mention now,
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, it was important because there was a quite straightforward process to rent these things. That you have to send out a contract. You need to get the signature. You in the same email you just send a link to pay, and we integrate with Stripe. Very good technology, by the way.
Yep.
And it's been a really challenging project because we have to understand very well the business case, the need, and the key of our success was actually a very well done demo. So we perform this demo with the whole flow of the renting process. From the first call of the guy from his home, and and up until the contract and the signature. Very good.
Okay, so that demo was important, just to create the vision of what the customer needed. Because I think sometimes customers need to see it in action to believe it.
Yes, it's been very important because it's a business that relies a lot on CRM. So the process must be clear and they must see it in this case.
Perfect. So moving on in terms of like the team and the sales reps and etc. that you've got, what strategies do you use to ensure that the sales team aligns with the client needs and what then Salesforce or related ISVs are capable of?
Well, from my point of view, the most important part is the beginning, is the discovery. The discovery session, we call it this way. First of all, you make a first impression, which in sales is very important. Secondly, you get to understand the customer processes, and it's very important that you understand them well at the beginning. You can also ask other questions later on, but at the beginning you get the customer to speak.
Yep.
And to tell his story. His story is very important, and it's also important how along with the prospect, let's call it this way, you align on how you're going to improve with this upgrade with Salesforce the processes. Because you have to start from a process, you cannot erase it and create it from scratch. It's always an upgrade.
Yeah. No, I see. So it's important that discovery phase is there. And do you also find it's interesting? Do you have to sometimes challenge the customers as well and ask them, hey, why do we do it that way? There's potentially a better way as well. So how do you handle some of those? Sometimes customers can be very precious of their process because this is how we've done it for 20 years. And like, okay, doesn't mean it's right. So how do you handle some of those more difficult conversations with them as well? Is it just by walking them through it, showing how that would work in Salesforce? How do you typically try to sort of get around those issues?
Well, usually the focus has to be on business results, and also it's very important, but not always you are able to get there, to personal results. So if something can save you 1 hour a day, personally, it's a very great gain. So it doesn't matter the way you always manage things. If with another way you get the same results and 1 hour less of work.
Yeah.
So if you can lead the conversation that way, so to understand the results the customer expects and the way he expects to get those results, and if let's say with PDF buffer or whatever solution you can save 1 hour, even a week, then you overcome any objection, I think, Luke.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's good stuff. You mentioned obviously PDF Butler and our partnership there. So I'm going to dive into some sort of partner related questions. So,
all right.
How do you see partnerships within the ecosystem really help drive success, both for your business but also for your clients as well?
Well, I think I've been answering this question all along from the beginning. So the partnership works when we solve a problem, both of us. If with your solution you solve the problem, with my project I solve another project, and I get that customer that I told you about with the rehab tools. Thanks to your solution, because he can sign the contracts in 3 minutes, and my project because he can rent out whatever tools he's got, then the partnership is growing well, But that's also that's an example with PDF Butler. But we also need to partner with CTI solutions or whatever is within the ecosystem of Salesforce.
Yeah, and I think one thing that the Salesforce ecosystem does very well is the partnerships between SIs and ISVs as well, because Salesforce will take you so far, and then when you have specialist needs, then that's where the ISV market comes in. So it's an interesting question to pose you, I guess. How has your opinion changed of ISVs from your Salesforce working as a sales rep at Salesforce versus now as an SI? Has your thought process now changed because you're now more involved in the ISVs than you were before?
Well, it's a completely different point of view, because Salesforce, it's a company with very strong targets. They work also on monthly basis target. They need to sell solutions. They need to keep the renewal. So if you are in the sales team, your focus it's on the number every day. If you work in consulting, it's different. Your focus is on the cost and on the customer, because the more the customer is happy, and the more he will buy from you. There is no other thing to, and also he will commission you other projects. And also, now that we are within Aeonvis, we can expand in consulting, ERP solution, whatever you have. So look, it's very, very different. I suppose in small point of view, maybe you sell a solution with a subscription, so you can be kind of like Salesforce, but because you're smaller, you're also more close to the customer, and I'm sure than Salesforce, that obviously is huge.
Yes.
So,
yes,
so
indeed.
it focuses on the technology mostly.
Yes, no, absolutely. So we've talked about a good example of the rehab tools and stuff that PDF Butler helped you with. Can you think of another example where maybe a different partner or a different organization within the ecosystem where that partnership has worked well together?
Yes, of course. We are very strong as a partner with an app that works in the wine industry. So in Italy, we've got about 8 to 10 customers in the wine industry. We are the first Salesforce partner in that industry, and every year we go to Italy, which is an event worldwide that I will suggest you to come over one time.
I'm sure I can manage to drink some wine.
It's huge.
I'll be okay.
It's huge. Yeah. And there is this small company that does an app to schedule tasting events. Okay. So there is a back office to organize the event, to give availability to the customer. So there is a kind of an extranet where you set up everything. Also, the payment is integrated with Stripe, and they developed an integration with Salesforce.
Okay.
So we used to, make the whole thing custom. But that's not obviously a best practice for something like this. If there is an app that does this, it's like PDF Butler. I can go in the back office of Salesforce and develop a PDF myself with my developer, but it doesn't make sense when there is an app that does it, and it's it's being worked on much more than my developer. 3 or 4 days work for a customer. So we usually embrace all those partnerships, because I think that make the project richer in the eye of the customer and also for us.
Okay. No, excellent. Yeah, it's always good to see. And I'm always open for drinking wine, so that's not a problem. We'll I definitely manage it. Yeah, it's
Very good.
definitely. So as we begin to sort of wind down a little bit, I want to ask sort of a couple of questions about how do you sort of handle the work-life balance? Because working in the ecosystem is sometimes can be all-consuming. So how do you handle that work-life balance, and what do you do to get a break away from work? Have you got any hobbies or things that you like to do?
Yes, of course. Like I told you at the very beginning, I've got two children, and they suck you away a lot. So my time, my free time is often, spent with them. Also, I have to say that working in a consulting company, my free time is aligned with, the school holiday, because,
Yep.
for example, in August, nobody works in Italy, so we actually have 2-3 weeks of, office close. But because even if I wanted to call a prospect, it would be inappropriate 15th of August,
Yeah.
to make a call. I live in a small town by the seaside in Italy, and I moved to work in the office in Milan or Rome mainly, and I stayed there 2 to 3 days a week. So
Okay.
basically, also, remote working helped a lot, because I can stay in my small town with my small family easy. But then I'm open, and I'm open to the big metropolis of the
Yeah.
business, you know.
Yeah. It's always that perfect balance of both the city and then the seaside is two
Exactly.
different nice
In
places and
Tuscany,
nice.
this
Yeah.
this small town is in Tuscany, so it's a very very good place, very nice place. But I spend sometimes in the train to go and come back, to my offices, but it's very worthwhile.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Tommaso, thank you so much for joining me today. An absolute pleasure. It's great to work with you and the team as well. But yeah, more importantly, thank you for sharing your story and how you got into the ecosystem and how you're now thriving as well. So thank you very much. And yeah, we look forward
Thank
to
you,
continue
Luke.
to work with you and see the growth of the company as well.
Very very well. Thank you, Luke. It's been very good to chat with you.
No worries. Absolute pleasure. Cheers, Tommaso.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.